The Indian Air Force is enhancing its Sukhoi 30 MKIs to take out Pakistani so-called stealth J-35 fighter jets. While Islamabad is spending billions of dollars to buy nearly 40 J-35s from China, the Indian Air Force doubts whether these cheap F-35 copycats are even stealthy. According to this report in news portal defense.in, the Indian Air Force is upgrading its Sukhoi 30s with a special radar to identify, track and then target the J-35s with BVR missiles at ranges of 350 kilometers or so. An Indian Air Force official has been quoted saying, the Chinese J-35A might have stealth measures to cover its radar signature, but it's not a stealth jet where a pilot will feel comfortable taking on the upgraded Sukhoi 30 once it's ready, unquote. So China is not selling its prized J-20s to Pakistan. Instead, the CCP is selling its non-stealthy J-35s to Islamabad. Even the US Air Force believes the Chinese J-35 is based on stolen F-35 blueprints, and we'll tell you all about it shortly. But first, what are these special upgrades the Indian Air Force is making to its own Sukhoi 30 fleet to neutralize the upcoming Pakistani J-35 threat? India's upgraded Su-30s or the Super Sukhois will be armed with the highly accurate Virupaksha radar and the 340-kilometer range Astra Mk3 missiles, both developed indigenously. The comprehensive upgrade package is aimed at elevating around 84 of the nearly 270 Sukhoi 30 NKI fighters to a 4.5 plus generation aircraft. The Indian Air Force official added, quote, the combination of Virupaksha and the Astra Mk3 will deter any Pakistani J-35A pilot from trying to test the Chinese stealth claims. The Chinese will not be selling the best of their technology with Pakistan just like they did with the J-10, unquote. The idea behind the upgrade is to detect Pakistani J-35s at long ranges of 300 to 400 kilometers and then target them even before they enter any Indian airspace. This will be achieved by the hypersonic Astra Mk3 or the Astra Mk3, officially named Gandiva, the mythical bow of Lord Arjuna from the Mahabharata, is set to dramatically advance the Indian Air Force's combat capabilities. Now, what makes the Gandiva missile different is its cutting-edge technology, powered by solid fuel ducted ramjet propulsion system that is a revolution in itself. Known to utilize atmospheric oxygen as an oxidizer, it eliminates the need for on-board oxidizers, thus resulting in a lighter and more efficient design. More importantly, this groundbreaking feature allows this Indian missile to sustain hypersonic speeds up to Mach 4.5 over extended ranges of 300 to 350 kilometers, depending on launch conditions. Now, most conventional missiles today can sustain these speeds for a short distance before relying on kinetic energy and momentum to go that distance. Now, this allows the target fighter jets to maneuver out of the way. On the other hand, this Indian Astra Mk3 can constantly sustain these hypersonic speeds for the entirety of 340-kilometer range, giving little chance for the enemy jets to evade. The Pakistani fighter jets like the J-10s are fitted with the Chinese PL-15E missiles, which are the export variants and have limited range of 145 kilometers. So India will have a decisive advantage with the Astra Mk3 on the Sukhoi 30s. Boasting a maximum range of 340 kilometers, this Indian missile being tested surpasses China's own PL-15 missiles with a reported range of 300 kilometers and even the US AIM-174 BB Ram of 240 kilometers range. With an angle of attack up to 20 degrees and 10 kilometers snap up and snap down capability, the weapon system can target a variety of aerial threats including enemy fighter jets, bomber aircraft, military transport aircraft, refueling planes, and especially the Airborne Warning and Control System or the AWACS system. The effectiveness of the Gandiva missile on the Su-30s will be further enhanced due to the incorporation of the Virupaksha radar using the gallium nitride technology on the Super Sukhois. The Virupaksha radar is a larger, more enhanced version of the indigenous Uttam radar, and the larger airframe of the Sukhoi 30s allows easy integration without the need for any structural changes. With 2600 transmit-receive modules, it promises superior range, reduced weight, optimized power consumption, enhanced cooling efficiency, higher resolution than legacy systems, as well as better resistance to electronic jamming. According to this report in scienceindiamag.com, the Virupaksha radar will have the capacity to detect enemy aircraft at ranges of 450 kilometers, which brings many of the Pakistani airfields within its range. These features will make it nearly impossible for any Pakistani pilot flying the J-35A to evade Indian radars and missiles. Now, 81% of Pakistani defense imports are from China, and the CCP does not sell its best equipment to Islamabad. Before the end of this decade, Pakistan will become the first and only country outside China to fly the 5th generation J-35A jets, a deal which Islamabad has already approved. Unfortunately for Pakistan, this fighter jet is known as a cheap copycat of the Lockheed Martin manufactured F-35. Firstly, it remains unclear how such a large deal will be financed by a country marred by an economic crisis and dependent on regular bailout packages from the IMF and the World Bank. So is Pakistan redirecting aid money to buy more weapons? In fact, India has asked the IMF to ensure Islamabad does not misuse the repeated bailout packages to arm itself against New Delhi. Now, coming back to the J-35 jets, many have questioned whether spending billions of dollars on these non-stealthy jets is even worth it. Even the US Air Force believes this Chinese jet is nothing but a copycat. Speaking to the Air and Space Forces magazine in an interview on the 19th of November, US Air Force Chief of Staff General David W. Alwyn made a shocking statement regarding the Chinese J-35A. He said, quote, "It's still fairly new, but yes, it's pretty clear. You could put it side by side and see at least where we believe they got their blueprints from, if you will," unquote. Earlier, documents leaked by Edward Snowden revealed that China stole designs of the American F-35 fighter jet. According to several reports, Chinese hackers stole as much as 50 terabytes of data, including, quote, details of the fighter's radar system, engine schematics, aircraft deck heating contour maps, designed to cool exhaust gases, and the method the jet uses to track targets, unquote. However, it seems the Chinese J-35 lacks the stealth qualities of the original American F-35, which has now been offered to Indian Prime Minister Modi by President Trump. Refused the J-20s by Beijing, Pakistan has no option but to buy the J-35. But by then, the Indian Super Sukhois would be ready with their Virupaksha radar and Astra Mk3 missiles to take them out if needed. What do you believe? Are Pakistani J-35s going to be effective? And should India buy the original F-35s to maintain air superiority over Islamabad? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to InConnect News.